more powerful somebody becomes, the less reality gets to touch them. That shouldn't happen. If anything, power should bring a person closer to reality. Yet history keeps producing the opposite result. Again and again, people reach positions where their decisions affect millions of lives, then slowly begin seeing a world that nobody else can see, a filtered one. Hitler spent his final months believing military victories were still possible, while Germany was falling apart around him. Years later, historians would look back at those decisions and ask the same question everybody asks when power goes wrong. How could he not see it? The obvious answer is arrogance. The problem is that arrogance explains almost nothing. There are arrogant people everywhere. Most never become detached from reality. Something else has to happen, something that only appears when a person rises high enough, because reality doesn't arrive on its own, right? And the higher somebody climbs, the blurrier reality becomes. People simply start behaving differently around power. A hesitation appears. Certain things stop being said, and with that, certain things stop being challenged. The person at the center rarely notices the change. Why would they? From their perspective, everything still feels normal. That's what makes this topic so ironic. The moment power starts separating somebody from reality, the separation doesn't feel like separation. It feels like clarity. And then, nothing can pull them back to reality but destruction. That's what history showed, and that's what psychology calculates. The strange thing is that power doesn't usually change people overnight. Nobody wakes up one morning completely detached from reality. It starts much earlier than that. It starts with dominance, which creates trust, which then creates confidence. And confidence is useful. I mean, who wants a leader who doubts every decision they make, right? However, the problem begins when confidence stops being tested, because reality checks were supposed to push back. That's how human beings learn. You make a mistake, reality beats you up, you adjust, and the cycle repeats. Now, power interferes with that cycle. When a person says something and nobody corrects them, or when a bad decision gets buried under 10 people trying to protect their position, the lesson never arrives. And when reality stops teaching, people stop learning. That's when something interesting starts happening. The person becomes more certain, but never more aware. Let that sink in. History is filled with people who were absolutely convinced they were right. The certainty wasn't the proof. It was the warning sign. Hitler had certainty. Napoleon had certainty before marching into Russia. George Bush had it too when he decided to invade Iraq over disproved weapons of mass destruction. The pattern keeps showing up. The person at the center becomes increasingly convinced of their own judgment. Everyone around them becomes increasingly careful with theirs. The distance grows. Then one day, a decision gets made. A decision that looks insane to everyone watching from the outside. Years later, people ask, how could they possibly believe that would work? The answer is usually disappointing. They didn't arrive at that decision in one step. They arrived there through thousands of moments where reality failed to reach them. You'd think power is dangerous because of what it allows people to do. But history suggests something else. You see, power is dangerous because it changes the environment around the person holding it. And human beings are far more dependent on their environment than they like to admit.